Good morning, traders. It is 8:32 a.m. on Wednesday, November 25th. I'm all done trading for the day. That's right, all done for the day. So there must be a reason. If you saw my pre-market trading video that I released earlier today from trades that I took earlier today, you'll see that on the first trade on JFU, the reason that I took the setup wasn't valid. According to my plan and my strategy, I basically screwed up because I kind of rushed into the trade before going down my checklist, which my checklist wasn't really that well defined. I just kind of had a routine, and I skipped the routine a little bit because I got up right before 4 a.m. and I felt rushed and all of that. So after that, I wrote down a checklist that I'm just going to kind of memorize and always do the same order. And it's basically 6 things. The stock's got to be on the top gainers list. It has to have volume. I have some criteria for that volume. It has to be in my price range. It has to be within my float requirements. And then the daily chart, that's where I screwed up here. It has to pass my daily chart test. And then finally, I can't take a trade unless there's a pattern, right? So 6 things. And where I screwed up on that first trade here is I didn't check the daily chart before I jumped into the trade. So, and it turned out to be a big loser. And then I was green on the second one, but not enough to make up for that loss. So check out that video if you haven't, because there's some good lessons in there. And then, so the funny thing is when I made that checklist a few hours later, I decided, let me open up Webull. Let me put some stocks on the watch list that meet that criteria. You can see them over here, and then let me practice running through that, checklist. All right, so sounds like a great plan. The only thing was when I opened up MTC. Let me see if I can find out where I was. Yeah, when I opened up MTC, which was a top gainer, it was actually kind of low on the volume, but it was such a low float that, you know, the low volume has a much bigger impact on a low float stock, a very low float stock. So anyway, I opened it up, and it's basically it had this pattern coming out of consolidation, which I love to see that, which is basically the first leg of an A, B, C, D pattern. And where I would get in is on the pullback when it breaks the high of a 1-minute candle. I got this on video. Let me just go to the trade video, so you'll see exactly where I did. So this is what I saw when I pulled it up. That's the same stock there. So now I'm just waiting for the pullback. I'm going to fast forward a little bit. You can see on the 5-minute chart, it looks like maybe a 3-bar play setting up, but I'm trading an ABCD pattern off the 1-minute chart. But this is definitely like a bullish signal, and you can see all the volume coming in all of a sudden of buyers. So now letting it pull back. It looks like so like I told you before, my idea is to buy the break of this candle, and then my stop loss is the bottom of that candle. So a nice, pretty tight stop there. And it looks like the high was 181. So as soon as I see 182, I get in, and there it didn't give me 182. It went from 180 to 184 because of the spread, but it's still a relatively small spread. So I jump in, but planned out. And notice that even though the price is trading below the 200 MA on the daily chart, is trending up here, and the price right now is higher than the 200 MA. So that still meets my daily chart criteria. So I get in, and then you see I'm just like looking to see where my stop is, and I know I pull this up. This is my mixing view for my the sound basically of my computer. So I noticed it was really loud, and this is still early. My wife's still asleep, and so I just pull this up to turn it down real quick. But then watch what happens. This is where things get interesting. You see that it says, okay, your order to buy 11 shares of MTC has been filled at 183. So I'm in at 183, but notice this is my position, this is my position window. It's not showing up here. Normally you get a little position bubble in blue up here. You see it on all my other videos. That's not there. I didn't even notice that right away. I just hear that blip, and I assume I'm in. and then I see this thing start to pop. And honestly too, I'm like, I love this setup, and that's why I jumped in. But I'm already aware that, hey, I broke a rule because this is my third trade of the pre-market, and I'm only supposed to take two. But I was definitely like teased by this pattern, and you know, that got me to break my rule, which is not a good idea. But so here I tried to sell half. This is where things start going crazy. Obviously, you know, we've established that Webull is glitching because it's not showing my position here. It's not showing the position bubble. It's telling me, so I hit my sell half hotkey. It's telling me you can't sell more shares than you hold as you have a cash account. So it's basically telling me that I'm trying to short sell this thing, which I'm not, because it showed that I have 11 shares. So now I'm trying to sell half, which would have been 5 shares, because it doesn't let you sell fractional shares. And so right there, I'm like, uh-oh, what the heck's going on? And then I think I try one more time as it gives me another pop right back up to where it was. And it gives me the same thing. Now, you know, I'm saying, okay, obviously something's going wrong here with Webull. I need to try to get out of this thing. I guess I hit it a third time, you know, as it pops higher. Then I figure maybe it's a hotkey issue. Let me put in, you know, a sell order here. I try to get the price somewhere around the range of the price, and then does the same exact thing. Then I start to put in the number of shares manually, and that's when I finally realized, wait a minute, I have no idea how many shares I have. There's no position information whatsoever on the chart or in my position window. So then I go to the account page, hoping that it shows up here, and thankfully it does. I'm already up $1.10. I'm already up over 5% on the trade. I don't really care about that, honestly, at this point. I'm just thinking I need to get out of this thing because Webull is glitching right now for some reason, and I have no idea, you know, what kind of control I'm going to have over this position. So let me just get out of it, you know, win, lose, or break even. Just get out of it ASAP. So I hit close order. There might be a faster way to do this, but I don't, you know, this is not a problem I run into regularly, but this was it. I did try to sell all with my hotkeys as well. I forgot to mention that. So now it says, this is interesting. Look at this. Your order to sell MTC has been partially filled with 1 share at an average price of 188, leaving 10 unfilled shares, right? So this is telling me that it only sold 1 share. And you know what? I didn't look. Yeah, so I had the order was to sell 11 shares at 185 or better, right? And the price is at like 188. So it definitely should have sold them all, assuming the volume was there, right? But then it tells me it's only sold 1 share. But notice my position completely disappeared. And then, okay, now there it tells, so I guess it just lagged on that. Your order to sell 11 shares has been filled at 188. So it must have been a volume issue at that moment. But anyway, weird glitchy stuff. This was still like a good setup and a good trade. It's just one I shouldn't have been in because I already took 2 trades in the pre-market. Oh, so there I just hit sell all one more time because I thought that I possibly still had some shares left because of the way Webull was acting. So just as a precaution, then I think I go to back to my account page to double check, and then I see that I'm up on the day, and so that means that all of them must sold, and you can see the trade right here, 53 cents I made on that, which isn't bad because it was essentially like I don't know, what was I in, 11 shares at I think it was 183, $20 basically, and I made 53 cents. So that's like a 2.7% return. So that's good. The only problem was I took a big hit in the pre-market, you know, right at 4 a.m. That was the trade that I jumped into. And then my second trade was a nice winner. But this one was just too big of a hit. I actually lost like a little bit over 5% on my trade cost there, so that wasn't good. But luckily I ended up green on the day. I put it in yellow because I broke my rules to get there, so this is not a good trade. And the point to this whole video is that you can come away green and still be trading poorly, and that's not a good thing. It doesn't mean that you were right to take that trade just because you came away green. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the rest of the day off from trading. I got plenty of other things I need to do anyway. And, for breaking my rule on taking a third trade in one session, taking the rest of the day off, I'm considering myself very lucky to be in the green, even though it's a small green. I was in the red after that first trade that I took. And, I'm saving my green week so far. All we have is Friday, and all I'm going to have there if I trade is the pre-market and intraday. We won't have aftermarket, I doubt, because they're going to close the markets at 1 p.m., and I think that's going to be it for Friday. So far so good as far as, ending the month green. It's looking like I'm going to be able to do that. We'll have to see. I got 2 more days to get through. And then pay attention to this because this looks like terrible returns for the size of my account, but this is not a margin account. This is a cash account. My average cost of trades, although it's probably going up a little bit because I added some funds, it's somewhere around 50, maybe up to 55 now. I'll add in this week when it's over. And my return's right around 7%. So that's still a really good return. Considering that this is a new plan and that I've been ironing out the kinks, and I've also broken the plan. Every time you see yellow, I've broken the plan or the strategy, which is on me. That's not on the plan, and I'm still coming away green. So I'm happy with the results so far. So we'll see if I can continue this thing. And I just wanted to this video. Hopefully you guys watch it and watch most of it, if not the whole thing, because this goes to show you, that. What happens when your platform glitches, and something like this rarely happens on Webull. If it did happen regularly, I would not use Webull. I've been trading with Webull since like the end of April, beginning of May, and this is the first time this exact thing has ever happened, and it's probably the 4th time I've ever seen Webull glitch. I've had issues where the charts won't load or something for a few minutes, or maybe up to 15 minutes at the most, and then they finally load. And but yeah, so and you can have issues like that on any platform, including the one I had today. I'm sure that even the expensive pay platforms can glitch like that once in a while. I still consider that to be kind of well within the specs of a usable platform, and you just have to know what to do. There was a couple other options after if it didn't show up on my positions here, I could have tried to pull it up on my phone. Things like that. So I also have my laptop here. I could have logged into my account on my laptop and see if I could have gotten it there, just in case it could have been a computer issue, because honestly, right after I got out of that trade, I did some other stuff like in Excel, and there was some issues with saving my file. So it's more likely that it was a Webull issue, but there is always the possibility that it was my computer. So I just want to leave it at that. That's it for me today. I hope you guys are trading well, following your plan, sticking to your strategy, whether you're red or green or not, or a break even. The main thing is that you follow your plan or your strategy. Otherwise, you won't know if what you're doing is really working or not. So you guys take care. Have a happy Thanksgiving. This is probably going to be my last video for the day. And I will see you guys Friday or Monday. Take care.